Look, you've written in an opinion piece that's been published in The Independent saying that it's absurd to claim that justice has been done, as Barack Obama himself exactly said. Why do you argue that?
It's not justice, it's a perversion of the term. Justice means taking someone to court, finding them guilty upon evidence and sentencing them. This man has been subject to summary execution, and what is now appearing, after a good deal of disinformation from the White House, may well have been a cold-blooded assassination. You've got to distinguish, I think, the operation itself was quite legal. I'm convinced of that. An incursion into Pakistani sovereignty was justified because the Pakistan government, either through incompetence or connivance, were not doing their duty in capturing an international criminal, and so America was entitled to take the action. Well, it all depends on President Obama's order. Was it an order to kill, or was it an order to capture and only kill in self-defense? Because the law is very clear. You can indeed, if you're capturing a criminal, whether it's a bank robber or an international terrorist, if your life is in danger, if he's going to shoot you, then you shoot him first in self-defense. There's no question about that. But the issue has to be, if this man was unarmed, and his wife was there also unarmed, he could have been captured. And the method of disposing his body at night without an autopsy is also questionable. They've got a photograph, apparently, is all they took, but they're not releasing that for fear that it'll become iconic, rather like the picture of Che Guevara on the slab. But, if governments kill people, that's one of the consequences. And another, the international law consequence of governments killing someone, and it goes to the right to life that's in all human rights conventions, is that there must be an inquest, an inquiry. Pakistan, like Australia, has a coronial system, a duty to hold an inquiry if there's been a violent death. And so there now devolves on America, I think, a duty under international law to hold a proper inquiry as to how this man met his end.
Geoffrey Robertson, you've also gone on to argue in the last little while that there actually is, apart from it simply being internationally right and just to put someone on trial rather than summarily execute them, you argue there's a further advantage in having a trial if it is a well-run trial such as the Nuremberg trials. What's the parallel you're drawing there?
Well, the parallel is that, look, the way to demystify this man is not to kill him and have the iconic picture of his body. The way to demystify him, rather than to these soulful pictures of the tall man on the mountain, is to put him on trial, to see him as a hateful and hate-filled old man screaming from the dock or lying in the witness box. That way, the true inhumanity of the man is exposed. He should have been put on trial with Khalid Sheikh Mohammed, who was also confusingly alleged to be the mastermind of 9/11, put them in the dock together. That way the truth comes out. I mean, Nuremberg, the British were afraid. They thought that Goering would use the dock as a soapbox. It was only the Americans who insisted that Nuremberg go forward to produce a record. There are still millions of people who think that Mossad flew the planes into the tower. The way to demystify the Nuremberg confounded all the Holocaust deniers by the judgment. It would have been better, I think, in all the circumstances, if it were possible to capture him, to take him alive, and put him on trial.
The word possible, the word possible is crucial there, I think, also, Geoffrey Robertson, because how possible is it to actually have a reasonable, fair, and meaningful trial, and not some show trial or a circus?
Well, I mean, I think Saddam Hussein was a circus, and Milosevic, on the other hand, Charles Taylor, in my old court, in the UN court, in Karadzic will get a fair trial. I think that it may take a long time, but it will be fair. And of course, the irony of this is that this is what Osama bin Laden craved. He wanted, the last thing he wanted was to be put on trial, to be convicted and to end his life in a prison farm in upstate New York. What he wanted was exactly what he got, to be shot in mid-jihad and get a fast track to paradise. And the Americans have given him that.